Hey gang, so a while back, I did the EVA foam quick repair, which was really just putting something over the existing sole so we have a nice, comfortable walking material so we can keep enjoying the boat while we get around to start working on the sole. So today I'm in demolition mode. So the sole on Reverie, it was really bad from the time I got it. So you can see that the plywood has been delaminating, and the veneer, the teak and holly veneer, is also been peeling off. And when you're walking on it, pieces of it are going off, basically breaking off, and leaving you with a bunch of sharp edges and splinters and things like that that we really don't want. So right now, what I'm working on is demolishing, taking out all of the sole that's damaged and leaving it straight down to the fiberglass, which you can see down here. So I have regular fiberglass sole. I guess this was an option on the Pearson 34 to have the wood teak and holly, and I've seen boats with and without it. So I'm gonna take the wood off, clean the fiberglass, and then reassess what I want to do for the sole of Reverie. So to make quick work of removing this, I guess they spread glue to glue the plywood to the deck, to the sole here, to the fiberglass. And it comes out, for the most part, pretty neat, but where there's areas where it's really wide and thick, I'm using the side-to-side with just a straight flat blade. I'm not trying to cut, so I'm being very careful to just slide under the wood and then work it to get it to lift. Once it's lifted, then you get momentum and you can keep peeling it off without much trouble by just using a hand scraper. So this job has to get done in a couple of passes. You have to do one pass for the demolition, and then and clean up. Then you have to kind of clean the deck and then remove whatever remaining glue is left. One thing I'm going to try to save is this hatch. I already had replaced the forward hatch with a piece of starboard, so it's flush with the fiberglass deck. This hatch is double, so you have one piece that's flat that sits level with the fiberglass, and then the part that sits above it. I'm going to try to leave it alone for now, and I'm going to try to split it so I can keep the panel as a template to cut another piece of starboard for the second hatch. And then my deck here, my sole here, will be completely level. It'll be level, and it'll be easy to either replywood or put vinyl flooring on it, glue on teak and holly floor covering. So it gives me a lot of options once I get this job done. So I mean, keep scraping and digging. Well, I got most of the sole off. It wasn't too bad. It's taking me a couple hours. Still have to work with the hatches, but it is starting to come along nicely, which is what we wanted. You can see now the fiberglass. I still have the hatches, which I may replace with wood kind of accent, or I may just do kind of what I did on this side, which is do a piece of starboard, or actually switch that starboard for marine plywood, so then I can stick laminate flooring to it. Well, folks, back on Reverie. Main focus is just get the dirt off. I'll deal with the glue some other time. It's not a priority because I'm putting the EVA foam back down, and actually that looks better than anything I can put on this floor again without spending $3,500 or something like that. So let's keep working. You can see the floor. I took the hatches. That swirly you see, that's the old glue, and I did a little test over here, and it'll come out with acetone, but it's going to take forever and a million racks to do that. So I'm just going to give it a good clean. I'm taking the hatches apart so I have a level surface all the way through. I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna get a hose in here and use some spray 9 and a brush and brush the living daylight out of that fiberglass just to get that dirt off of it. And it should look pretty good. And then I'll clean the AVA foam and put it back down because honestly, I like this color. It kind of makes everything pop and is really comfortable to walk on. Here I already took care of one board. This had this other piece attached on top, and basically that fills the hole perfectly, and then this come up because that was the thickness of the plywood and teak and holly veneer that was put in the floor. You can see this is pretty shot. They never really cleaned it or kept it dry or repolish it just to keep it looking good. So I had to drill the plugs out to take the screws out. But if you notice, that was an option on Pearson because this is what you normally would have gotten, which is the other side. You would have gotten just a nice teak and holly little hatch in a fiberglass sole, and that would have been it. But when you ask for the teak and holly, they flip this around and then screw this on top to give you a hatch that ties to the rest of the flooring that they put down. But it's one of those things, again, if you don't take care of it, it's just a mess. And some of these came off a little bit when I was unscrewing it, so I sand the pieces out, put some glue on, re-glue the bottom part because it's actually in really good shape, so I'm going to reuse it. That's kind of what it looks like. And I did a little repair here in the corner. This hatch is just waiting for the glue to dry so I can put it back in place. And I'm going to work on the big hatch. And this one, I guess it went bad a while back. So the previous owner just jerry-rigged, I guess, a whole bunch of pieces of starboard. But instead of doing a nice job and just getting a solid piece, he just hack a bunch of pieces and put strips. So what I'm going to do is get some marine plywood and use this as a mold. But right now my goal is to take this two things apart so I can finish the demolition portion of the project. So you can see here, a little close up, this is what happens when this deteriorates. It just starts peeling off. And over time, when you walk on it, you chip this pieces, and then you end up with splinters all over the floor, which if you're barefoot is not a good thing. So I'm going to remove it and make it look nice. Okay, we're getting to the cleaning phase and everything is coming along pretty good. I got all the dirt out. I still have, I guess, a residue from the glue, but at this stage I'm going to cover the floor and I'll make that a different project for a different day to get in there and open a section, get some acetone, and then keep working the glue off until it comes out completely clean. But since I'm going to cover with the AVA foam, I'm not going to worry about that for now. Now that I got the hatches back on track, the floor is going to be flat and it's going to have a very nice surface to walk on. I'm going to start drying the floor. I just literally grab the hose, use a brush with some spray 9, and use my hose on a flat setting so I don't spray everything, and then just scrub everything and rinse. And that's pretty much all I have to do. I'm going to get I have a little electric pump, so I'm going to pump all the water completely out of the bilge because it's going to have all the dirt from the side, so I don't clog the bilge pump. But I got to put the camera down to do that. So I'm gonna work on that next and dry this up, and I'll show you what it looks like once it's completed. So I dried everything out. It's completely dry. So what I'm gonna do is put the floorboards back down, not the floorboards, but the hatches for the bilge, but the ones I have. And maybe next week, if it's not too hot, I'll come back and put a coat of bilge paint. I have a light color that makes it'll make it easier to see what's going on in there when it's dark like this. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you're trying to troubleshoot something, it's harder to see. If you paint it with a light color, then everything is shiny and you have a lot of light in these compartments. All right, get the hatches back down. And everything is clean and dirt free. Reason I have to get some plywood, and I'm going to recut these hatches and stain them with Semco. And then it'll be better, is this hatch, the way they put it together, has the tips of the screws coming through, so it's going to be better to have the EVA foam so we don't poke our feet. But it looks pretty good, pretty happy with it. And like I said, those little squirrels you see, I'll take my time over time and use some acetone too. That's the glue residue. I'll get that off as we go. So let me clean the EVA foam and put it back down and kind of clean up the mess I made here. I put numbers so it's easy to remember what goes where. So I'm just giving it a rinse and a wipe just to take the dust that was on the back of this, and that way I won't get this old dusty all over again. So awesome. So this is it. We got our boards removed, our floor cleaned up. We put down our EVA so the floor is completely flat and level. That's fantastic. I love it. I really like this dark color on the EVA foam. It's like a gray, so it makes everything else kind of pop color-wise. So it's kind of, when you look at it with the contrast of the colors, like the colors of the cushions, it kind of works out. I was really happy with the outcome. Well, that concludes this episode. Next big project we have left is to get our windlass installed. We've been struggling with either removing the anchor locker box or putting it in the anchor locker box or put it on top of the hatch and just sealing the deck again. I'm still struggling with that. I got to figure out what I'm going to do, but I'll share that with you as soon as I figure it out. So with that, folks, please subscribe to our channel. If you enjoy these videos, I've done videos of everything we've been doing on Reverie, and I'm going to do a video on whether a boat like this will be the right boat for you. This was a project boat when I bought it. I paid $1,000 for Reverie, and then I spent the last 2 years redoing everything on the boat. The plumbing, the electric. I mean, if you watch the channel, there's plenty of videos on everything that we've been doing. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.